Let's take a walk back in time that will start in the present, going back 500 years trying to surprise the past. Under a horrible polar temperature, going into an awesome storm that usually leads to terrible floods, accompanied by eerie noises. We penetrate the very strange vegetation where the moss is so large that it can sink a human being and can cover the extension of an abyss. Cerro Hermoso is the central mountain range of Llanganatis. That's not exactly a mountain range, but a rare system of 3 clustered mountains, stuck in this part of the Interandean Alley and that go as ramifications of the Third Ecuadorian Andes. Very few people know the place of Llanganatis, and of those who entered, only a few left alive. But they agree that it is a sort of geological oasis in the world of the Andes. The Andes are not standing still, but live in perpetual geological movement. The roads drawn across the highlands and valleys move themselves. The hydraulic pipes, made of concrete, twist and break, the snowy heated from time to time and give rise to new and immense alluvial streams. All the Andean system is a broken rocky promontory, the scar of a large rupture of the crust, from which emerged the great volcanic holes. Crowded around the rubble of the broken and formed the huge mountain range. Rarely are solid rocks in the Andes, all is cracked, burned, or crushed. The hills and volcanic peaks of the Andes are formed from top to bottom. The Llanganatis, however, are from the bottom up. They are unique. Llanganatis always come to us told as wrapped in a very thick fog or storms that sound like catastrophes. As a great mystery, a mystery to many of those who entered and not left. For every hiker who falls within the increased enigma. Pilaro is the starting point to Llanganatis, and there's no other entry. Llanganatis is a safe place to hide something, and a hiding can be a permanent tomb, a tomb unfathomable where what once falls can hardly ever be extracted. An abyss of mysteries and eternal secrets. Would be there, buried by Rumiñahui, a part of the ramson in gold of Atahualpa and his own body? Here, after having entered Llanganatis, we are hurling ourselves into the abyss of time to try to understand the history and legend. In the case of the Incas, I can say that the legend is the history. A legend, an oral and written tradition, speaks of the mysterious treasure supposedly buried by Rumiñahui, part of the ransom that was never paid for Atahualpa and his own body. The fabulous treasure, then the army was carrying to Cajamarca, was probably hidden in Llanganatis some time later, in places that only Rumiñahui and some of his men knew. Decidedly Rumiñahui, that was the descendant of the Atis of Pilaro of Pilawaso, must have hidden in Llanganatis all the riches that he was ready to hand to free his sovereign when he was assassinated by the oppressor. Geographically, Llanganatis is fixed in the triangle formed by Latacunga, Banyas, and Pew, where the western Cordillera is knotted to produce a third mountain, limiting to the Amazon from basin of the Napo and Pastaza. From the late 18th century until the 70s of the 20th century, about 50 expeditions were made to Llanganatis, over 30 of them dominated by foreign. The most documented of them made by the researcher from Quito Luciano Andrade Marin in 1933 and 1934, who together with 2 Italians, Umberto Re and Tullio Boschetti, walked 1.5 months by Llanganatis region. El Derrotero del Padre Valverde. You can see Padre Valverde's guide on the blog, or tell me in the comments if you would like me to make a video of Derrotero del Padre Valverde. Many have tried but have never managed, not even with his instructions, to find the place where the gold and Atahualpa's body were left. The true story of the Derrotero is lost in the mists of time and colonial conquests. The original is in the Indian archives, would require much research to find and determine the authenticity. Apparently there is a printed copy or other, hence the impossibility of determining the authenticity this way, but in any case is ancient and fascinating. Direct descendants of those who were chiefs in the region told that the old king of Pilaro of San Miguel, called Pilawaso Adi, son of Pilawaso Adi of San Miguel, would married the Queen Coazangual of Huaynacusi and was father of a daughter of whom married the Inca Huayna Capac, father of Huascar and Atahualpa. Of this marriage was born in Pilaro the general Rumiñahui. Rumiñahui, brother of Atahualpa, or not, was his right-hand man. Since November 1532, when Pizarro had captured Atahualpa, until August 1533, when he was executed, 9 months have passed till the tragic end of the Andean Empire. Pizarro took advantage of time, profiting of the great federation of the Inca people, while Rumiñahui hastened to collect gold to subsidize the freedom of Atahualpa. Rumiñahui organized the resistance. At the same time, tried to keep the freedom of his dominions, in which was the Kingdom of Quito. Rumiñahui kept the reaction against the Spaniards on one hand and the rest of the Inca Empire on the other. Rumiñahui had real power to do so. While Huáscar was killed in turn by another army of Atahualpa, who had taken Cuzco led by Quisquis, was Rumiñahui the supreme commander in a completely dismembered Inca Empire. Anyway, when in the dead of night the body of Atahualpa took the direction of the north, carried by General Rumiñahui and his soldiers, disappearing into the mist of the Andes forever, took with him a trail of secrets that would never be revealed. The Spaniards tried indeed to obtain under torture, pulling at least some of these secrets, without getting anything. They got just more death, torture, and destruction. Atahualpa got what he wanted, within the tragedy that he himself had caused, preserving his body of destruction to come back to life, as always believed all the Incas. Preserving the treasures because what was only precious metal for foreigners, for the Incas was their faith in the sun. The sun as God, whose the sweat was gold, the faith in their culture as children of the sun, and the preservation of what was their own life in this world and the next. If the Incas are right, the prophecy of return is about to be fulfilled until 2033, when Pachacuti will complete 500 years of destruction. To continue following this fantastic search for Paititi and the Inca himself, come to our channel. Like, comment, and share. Inca greetings.